We have this display here for you. We're having some bubbly this morning, Allison. When we say bubbly, we're talking about beer, because you know what? It is the start of Oktoberfest, and what better way to celebrate than
beer and eggs
with a flight of
Let's
beer?
go.
Yeah, and
Right.
the start of the morning. So beer for breakfast. I like it, guys. I like it. Tell me
And
what
we've
I
got
need to
some
know.
guests here with us. Tim Hewitt, founder, owner, and master brewer of Wet Ticket Brewing in Rahway, New Jersey. And alongside Tim is Al Pabalski, also an owner at Wet Ticket Brewing. Guys, thanks for being here this morning. Do you usually come to the diner at 8 in the morning and start drinking, or
No.
But we're glad you did for us. What's with the name, first of all, Wet Ticket?
So
Where did that come from?
the Wet Ticket Party, thank goodness for the Wet Ticket Party, because it was a time in this country when people decided it was going to be the right thing to take away our right to have a beer. So you still had your Republicans, you still had your Democrats, but you had to declare whether you're on the wet side of the issue or the dry side. So thank God we won. And that,
we know for a while craft breweries were popping up. It felt like everywhere, right? Around 120 of them in New Jersey. Is that the statistic? And Brewers Association says 10,000 around the country. How is business right now for you guys?
I would say right now there's definitely headwinds. People are changing their what they want to drink or what they don't want to drink, but we have seen resurgence in our tasting rooms. So there still is demand for the beer.
You're talking about headwinds. Why do you think that is?
I think people have changed what they do. They don't drink as much anymore.
You got THC beverages, you've got seltzers, you've got canned cocktails. There's so many different alternatives. For us, our business is up, and I think we've totally kind of leaned into being part of the community. The brewery business, not only for us, but for breweries across the country, for the most part, has really become more and more hyper-local, meaning that people are willing to shop and buy from people that they have a relationship with, and they walk into our tasting room every day. So in that sense, business has been good for us.
I don't know if Allison is a big beer drinker or was back in the day, if that was her beverage of choice, but any questions for the guys, Allison?
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, back in the day when there was just a keg at a party, sure, I drank beer. Yes. I don't know that it was the high-end beer that these guys are making. I mean, I think that in terms of the spectrum, what they're doing is much more sophisticated than the, Miller Lite that I was drinking. But so guys, is it getting harder to make beer? I mean, in terms of the raw ingredients, in terms of inflation, is that impacting you guys?
Yeah, certainly, we've seen a attitude with our customers that the economy had give them some trepidation. We certainly have had some significant increases in what our raw material costs are, the cost of our cans. So it has been a struggle, and I think that's one of the headwinds that Al was talking about. But we're dealing with it. We're trying to create a competitive environment and a place where people not only are willing to pay the extra couple of bucks it might be to have a pint of craft beer versus Allison, your Miller Lite that we all, that style of beer we all grew up on. And for us, it seems to be working.
Now we have an array of fall flavors brought here by you for Oktoberfest. Please tell us about it.
This one is Droning On is the name of this one.
So you can imagine what that basically was born when all the drones were out flying all over, and our politicians and all the experts were just droning on with no common sense, and that was the birth of that beer.
Do you have a favorite here that you think we should try?
Well, I think Al and I both say they're like our kids.
Yeah,
it's hard to have a favorite, but right now what really sells well is our Scarecrow juice. It's a pumpkin ale named by my wife, and like a lot of the beers we have, I think it's perfectly balanced. It's problems with a pumpkin beer can be too much pumpkin, too much spice, too much hops.
Which one?
We really have a nice balance.
I'm down. If you want me to take a taste.
So sometimes people.
What time is it?
Yeah, that's okay.
9 Eastern, but somewhere it's 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock.
But I mean,
somewhere.
Jim, it's pumpkin, okay? So it's good for you.
So both Al and I come from a corporate environment, and I always say is, was there anything bad that you don't like about being a brewer? owning a brewery. And this is
And
about
what's
the only
the-
thing is that once in a while I got to wake up and drink a stout at 8 o'clock in the morning to see if it's ready to package.
That's yeah,
So
that's not Tim. That's a real occupational hazard. It sounds like. But what's the alcohol percentage in those?
they range anywhere from, I think, the droning on the American light lager. That's what you and I would have been drinking at the kegger, Allison. That is like a little under 5%, up to the fully juiced here. This is kind of in the whole scheme of things, a newer style in the craft beer world, a New England IPA, which has really kind of driven the boom in the craft beer business.
It's
So
a
that's
party
what,
now, guys, because Trish is here, our favorite server.
Oh,
Beer in the morning. Who knew?
It's allowed this morning
This
on
morning.
the job if
Right.
you so desire. We're drinking pumpkin-infused
Scarecrow juice.
Scarecrow juice. Here's a glass for Trish.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And
Trish, are you a beer drinker?
Are you a beer drinker? Allison's asking.
I do enjoy a beer.
Okay. Are we going to taste together? Cheers. It's actually really nice.
Cheers.
Tell me about it. It sounds fantastic.
I mean, it's not overpowered by pumpkin, is
No.
what I would say. It's kind of
Exactly.
refreshing.
So 100% when we developed this beer, of course, you go out and you taste everything that everybody has. And there were so many that were too much pumpkin, too much spice, not enough malt, too much hops. And I think that's the reason why our serious beer drinkers will have a pumpkin beer, and then we'll put a maple syrup rim and dip it in a sugar and spice mix. And they love that too.
What about non-alcoholic drinks? You said that's part of the headwinds you're facing. People are deciding not to drink or imbibe in alcohol. So are you part of that trend as well?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Are
yet.
you thinking about it, or?
We've thought about it, but
I don't want you to reveal any corporate secrets.
we're trying to perfect our beer first.
Okay, good. All right.
It's a competitive
Yeah.
beer market out there. How do you differentiate yourself? How do you stand out?
I mean, I think every brewery has their own style, and we try to focus on our product and make it a high quality product, and that's how you separate yourselves from others.
Yeah, so it's the
Yeah,
individual beers, and I think from our tasting room perspective, and I think what other brewers are doing around the country is you have to have a variety of beers. You're going to have some people who want to come in and have something that's like a Bud Light, but you're also going to want to have somebody who comes in and wants to have a New England IPA or a fruit beer or a Kolsch, a simple German ale.
I love a fruit beer. I love those. They're so refreshing. But guys, what's wrong with kids today? Why are they drinking hard seltzers? I mean, why aren't they drinking these delicious beers? Like, how do you explain the advent of the hard seltzer?
We'll have to get into that on another edition of Connecting America. Hold that thought, because we need to leave you here. We'll continue the conversation here at the table. And cheers to you, Allison, and everybody at home.
Cheers.
Thanks for
I'm just
watching.
gonna have some coffee.